Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this? I like the moving. 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 Give it up! Welcome to the big show.
All right, we are on the JMB Sports podcast on this Tuesday, the last day of January 31st. And can you believe it? Tomorrow is February already. And when you think of February, we think of Super Bowl season.
Yes.
Finally have our Super Bowl matchup ready for this year. We have the Kansas City Chiefs against the Philadelphia Eagles from Glendale, Arizona, which will be February 12th on 2 weeks. And It should be a fun one. So, John, we had a couple of great championship games on Sunday. We had the 49ers-Eagles, which, let's be honest, that was the more unenjoyable game than the second game. The second game was the much more popular and the more intense game. The first game was, and you know what? Whoever came up with the schedule, the 3 o'clock game was meant for that game, for the Eagle game.
The stinker of the two games.
Yeah, that was a perfect. Whoever created the schedule, the NFL did a great job in planning out the schedule for those two games because the viewership for that second game was enormous. It was absolutely off the charts.
I think they alternate it every year.
Yeah, I believe the NFC was
they were the 6 o'clock game last year, so that's why the AFC was this year.
Yes. So we have the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, two great teams, and we also make history, John.
Yep.
The Chiefs and the Eagles are the first Super Bowl where two African-American quarterbacks are going against each other, which is pretty remarkable for this day's NFL.
Yes, and we also have another bit of history. The Kelsey brothers are the first ever brothers to play against each other in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love the First Step brothers, but you know what? I bought my tickets to the Kelsey brothers. It was the tickets were a little pricey, but you know what? It should be worth it.
Yeah, where are you going to see it? The Monmouth Mall?
Yeah, I heard the Kelsey brothers is going to be sold out.
Yeah, every day leading up to the Super Bowl.
That's right, Johnny.
I hear it's going to top 80 for Brady.
Yeah. Well, we were hoping to have Ian Kozenko on the show today, but he was doing something, so we'll hopefully have him on the next podcast. So we'll probably do, if you guys are up for it, maybe we'll do another Football Friday thing. Not that there's any games this weekend, but you know what? While we're waiting for the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks, we might as well do two more Football Fridays before the season is officially over and we have a crown champion.
Yep.
So once again, the show is it's not live, but if you're ever interested, you can join the show by sending us messages to 732-259, toll-free number 732-259-8043. Just write your comment question and then write your name right after the comment or question. Once again, you could send your messages and comments to 732-259-8043. So we actually have some breaking news to report, John. Do you want to make the breaking news?
There was a few of them.
There was a few of them in the last couple hours.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you do one and I'll do one.
Well, probably the first big news is the Denver Broncos officially have a head coach.
Yeah.
One Mr. Sean Payton retired, what was it, 2 years ago? Last year? What was it? I believe he retired at the end of the 21 season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So because the Saints still had his rights, the Denver Broncos gave up their first round pick this year and a second round pick in 2024 because he's still technically under contract with the Saints until 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And they also get New Orleans' third round pick in 2024. I like the move, Brandon. He's a good coach. Pair him with the veteran Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. I think he'll do very well in Denver with that Russell Wilson team. Because let's be honest, that team was terribly coached. They were so highly they were expected to be really good.
Yep, they
But
put them
then they
on
were
so many
so
prime
bad.
time.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even count. We'll run out of fingers how many times they were on primetime TV this year.
Or at least scheduled for it.
Yeah, but they flexed a couple of those games at the end of the season, which were the right thing to do because nobody really wanted to watch them at the end of the year. But the other breaking news is DeMeco Ryan returns to the Houston Texans to be their head coach.
Yep.
I think it was a good move. I think he'll be good with this team.
All depends what they do with that number 2 overall pick.
Right. Now that you know when you have a San Francisco 49ers team and we all know that their defense is really good. Not against the Eagles, but you know what? Let's be honest. Nobody played well. The Eagles were just dominant against everybody.
Yep.
He will bring you a spark to this defense, and Texans will be much better than they were last year because their defense was terrible in this last year.
Yep.
But you know what? The Texans are able to run the ball. They're able to run the ball. They're going to figure out a way to win games next year. I think they'll have a chance to, make it competitive. But I think this is a good move, John.
Yeah, that kid running back did good, didn't he, for them?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
I'm gonna look it up quick.
Let's be honest. Not a lot of people follow the Texans this year. Everyone kind of just watched the other teams.
Well, remember when we saw them against the Giants, he was pretty good.
They play pretty good. They ran the ball. The running game was working for them. Let's see. Who is there?
Was it this guy, Dare Agumbawali?
Who?
Dare Agumbawali. He's listed as your number 1 running back right now.
Okay, yeah, Agumbawali, yeah. I mean, he was pretty good. I mean, listen, he's got a lot of work to do, but I think he could, see, the only thing that's worrying a little people now is in this league, defense, they want to hire offensive guys to run your teams.
Yep.
Because they want to focus on your quarterback becoming like a star of the whole thing. So it's like, they're trying to become like the NBA where like they have like a LeBron James running the team. Like they want a guy like Burrow like running the whole thing,
Yep.
They want a guy like Hurts running the whole thing. So they want offensive guys to come in this way they can make the quarterbacks better and the offensive lines better.
Mm-hmm. I could see them going after, I don't know if he declared for the draft yet. Young from Bama.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I think that'd be a good move for them.
Him or Stroud, I think.
Oh, that's actually, you know what? That's a tough thing. That's a tough pick to call. Who do you go with, Stroud or Young? I think I'd go with Young.
You have to think. The thing is, Bears have the top pick and they don't need a quarterback.
Right, because they really want. I think they want Fields to go at it again.
Yep, I think if the Bears stay at the number 1 pick, it will probably have according to CBS, the number 1 player available is Will Anderson from Bama.
Yeah.
Followed by Jalen Carter. So probably one of them will go to the Bears and the Texans take one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's going to be a fun off season for the NFL, and it's going to be an interesting NFL draft because you don't know what the Bears are going to do.
Yep, they might trade out of that number 1 pick.
Yeah. And then you're also going to see what do you do with, will the Giants everybody wants to know, are the Giants going to re-sign Jones or Barkley? I think they're going to keep Jones. I think they're going to keep both of them. I think both of them are going to come back. I don't see why they wouldn't, because despite losing to the Eagles by a good amount, I think they still have a bright future, and I think this team is meant to have a good amount of years in them.
Yep.
So I could see them staying.
I think they're kind of like the 2017 Yankees, that they were rebuilding but just have a good year.
Right. They're rebuilding, and I think. See, another thing is Martindale has been interviewed by teams to be a head coach, but if you're a Giant fan, you don't want him to go but he's going to go if he gets an opportunity. But you got to understand, this defense with this Giants this year was led by him. I mean, he did a superb job with leading this team with their defense. Just the red zone blitzes, just going after the quarterback in the red zone, just is something that he is really good at. And if he goes to another team, Giants might suffer that, but you got to hope that the guy they bring in next will have a similar strategy, because let's be honest, that strategy that Martindale brought to the team worked.
Yep.
Coming back in close games like against the Ravens, coming back against the Packers, coming back against the Titans, winning by a missed field goal in the last second.
Yep.
Just these little things that Martindale brought. And you got to give Dable credit, because this was Dable's staff. He brought him in.
Yep.
He brought him in. And, you got to give credit to Dable, because Dable did a phenomenal job with this team. If you and I were picking coach of the year today, if we had a gun pointed at our head and say, who do we pick for coach of the year? We'd go Dable, man.
Most likely.
But you know who I think is going to win it, John? I think Sirianni's going to win it.
Yeah, I think Sirianni as well.
I think Sirianni is going to win it because they're in the Super Bowl and nobody thought they were going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And if he wins it, he's definitely going to be it's going to be the icing on the cake if he wins the Super Bowl.
Well, you have to remember, it gets announced next Thursday before the game.
Oh, they pick it before the game?
All the awards are announced before the Super Bowl.
Wow, that is so dumb. You know what? See, that's something that they should do. They should see, when your coach in a Super, when it comes to a Super Bowl matchup, the coach matters. Like, I don't understand. You should pick the winners after the Super Bowl when everything is done. And I also said you should have the Pro Bowl after the season's over. Why are you doing the Pro Bowl the week before? And I think this is the last year of the Pro Bowl, right?
Well, they're doing the games now.
Right. I never been a Pro Bowl guy. I think the Pro Bowl was just it's not meant for this sport.
Yeah.
The NBA, I could see, the All-Star game working. But NFL is a little different in my opinion. I just don't see the Pro Bowl working in that standard,
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the list of the previous coach of the years. Even last year was Mike Vrabel. They didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I always thought that, you come down in the last second in a game, your coach makes a great decision, and you win the game. That's going to give your coach even a better chance to win Coach of the Year. That's how I always thought it, winning the Super Bowl in the last second, coming down to the last game of the year. I always thought that was a way to judge who would be Coach of the Year.
Despite all his success, Belichick has only won it twice.
Wow. Only twice. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed when you pick Coach of the Year.
3 times, actually.
It goes by with how the fans feel. Sometimes they feel like they want to go after the defensive guy, the guy who's been the offensive guy. Sometimes he wants to go after the guy who's made close calls, Every fan chooses somebody based on how they feel,
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Brand. I'll give you 2 of the years. You have to give it the other one. 2003 and 2010. What was the other year Belichick won Coach of the Year?
2000.
No.
I don't know. What year?
2007.
And that was the year the Giants.
Some miracle happened.
That was the year the Giants defeated the Patriots.
And ironically, where was it?
It was at Arizona.
Yep.
It was in Arizona.
Yep.
And that I'll never forget. Weren't they like that was it that Super Bowl or the 2011 one? The Giants were down by a good amount. And then they came back in the second half and won the game. I think it was 2011, right? I think it was both. Yeah, it was both games. They were down by a good amount at halftime. And then they come back in the second half and Eli just goes all out.
I think he's for sure a Hall of Famer. What do you
Eli?
think? Yeah.
I would say yeah. I think he's a Hall of Famer. His brother's definitely. I mean, I think he's already in, right?
He is first ballot a couple of years ago.
His brother when he was elected, he was a definite. But Eli had a lesser chance. But you know what? Eli should be in too.
Yep. Just look at his postseason resume.
Yeah, and I think just the way he interacts with the fans, just who he is and what he represents to the NFL, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Like he's like. You know, when you pick a Hall of Famer, you don't just look at how they play. You look at what they represent to the community, what they represent to the league, you know? Like, look at Jeter. Jeter played great, but look what he meant to the city, you know, with those celebrations in New York, you know, just meaning everything to the fans, you know? You know, that's how you judge a Hall of Famer. And there are a lot of people who take the Hall of Fame very seriously. You know, there are people who just grade players harder than others, you know?
Yeah. We have a few years until he's eligible, though, I believe.
A few years until he's eligible.
He retired in 2019.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, we got the Super Bowl, February 12th. We just did a quick podcast today just to bring up the breaking news reported by D'Amico Ryan heading to the Texans. Sean Payton's going to be the coach of the Broncos.
Let's see if we have any more last-minute news in any sport. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that is it for the NFL. I can't tell you I don't know about the other sports right now.
Well, happy birthday to Nolan Ryan.
Okay, happy birthday, Nolan Ryan.
Turned 76 today.
Oh, we got the Lakers-Knicks tonight, 7:30. Should be a good matchup. I don't know if LeBron's playing tonight. I know he didn't play last night.
Yep. What a waste of money that would have been if we had gone, right?
Let's be honest. I think LeBron needs to go back to the Cavs to finish his career. That'd be the icing on the cake for him.
Him and Bronny?
Yep.
How about this? Tyler Huntley is going to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's pretty surprising.
He's the choice to replace Josh Allen.
Yeah. All right, John, this has been a great episode. So this was not like a long podcast because we didn't have Ian today. So we're going to wait a little bit for Ian. We'll do a Friday or something.
Come next week for a little preview.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up the games from Sunday and the news from today. But we'll see you all Friday for another Football Friday podcast. We have 2 more Football Friday podcasts left for the remaining of the football season this week and the next week and then the Super Bowl Sunday. And then we're moving on to baseball, John.
Yep. 2 weeks.
Then we'll focus on NBA and the NHL. And then before you know it, John, opening day, and then the playoffs for basketball and hockey will start in a couple of months.
Yep. And maybe we'll be on the road at another game.
Yeah. John and I have some crazy plans that we're thinking about. So we'll if we definitely do it, we're going to definitely bring it up to you guys. All right, John, man. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
You too.
All right, bud.